Tendering for business. Did you know that many tender submissions fail to be assessed? Watch this video to find out why and how you can improve your chances of success. Top tip 1. Why tender submissions fail. Now there's 3 common reasons for tender submissions to fail. 1. Not meeting mandatory requirements. Carefully check the tender documents for the keywords of must, will and shall. You need these addressed to conform and meet all the required criteria with the supporting documentation. 2. Unanswered questions. Think of your tender like an exam. You need to provide a response to get a score. Even if you're unsure how to respond, it's better to explain your position than to leave it blank. And then 3, lack of evidence. That's around having policies, procedures and processes in place. So what does your record management look like? Can you provide the right documents, like evidence of training and induction of staff records? As a bonus, make sure you comply with the tender format. To be successful, you must complete the forms provided and submit all documentation, sign as needed and submitted by the deadline. Let's move into some of the tips and tricks that we share at our industry capability development workshops, delivered online and in person across the state. Top tip 2, be succinct. Assessors review dozens of tenders, so make sure yours is easy to read, be clear and concise, answer the question directly and use simple language. Use a mix of paragraphs and dot points with the most relevant information up front to make it easier to identify the key criteria. Make your last sentence or dot point a high impact summary statement. You should add detail only where necessary. If this is better provided in additional information, then link to an attachment. Now, if you're responding to a question about previous experience, you can list your experience briefly and refer to an attachment with case studies and photos. While you're summarising this, don't forget it may be valuable information for your capability statement. So be prepared and keep any important details for later reference. Avoid jargon. Use conversational plain English. If it's technical terminology in response to a technical question, that's fine, though ensure it can be understood and readable. If an assessor has to reread the response several times to understand the context, the score will probably reflect that. If it's industry speak that people outside of the industry will not understand, then don't use it. Now, if you're new to tendering process, there'll be a lot of terms that don't seem straightforward. You may have seen questions around local benefits, whole of life costs and non-cost factors. Let's get into those now. So at tip 3, highlight opportunities to add value. Remember, price is what we pay, value is what we get. For local benefits, consider ways of differentiating your business as a local supplier, including where your employees live and work, and how your offer is presented in terms of benefits to the local community. Government projects all have local content requirements to meet. Make sure that you address these. Whole of life costs are cost factors directly related to price and include in things like acquisitions costs such as the contract price and initial transaction costs, plus costs of operating, maintenance and disposal. And non-cost factors indirectly relate to price but are more focused on value being delivered than the cost paid. And should consider fitness for purpose. This may include alignment with procurement objectives, compliance with specifications and quality. Supplier capability, capacity, experience, including delivery and after-sales services and support. Risk. This may include operational and reputational risks. Businesses consider making both clear in their response so that a buyer can see what they are paying and what they are receiving. Non-cost factors in particular allow businesses to create positive points of difference between their offer and other offers that may be received. If you want to improve your chances of winning tenders, I encourage you to register for one of our up-and-coming workshops. In the workshop, you'll learn how to write an effective tender response that outlines the expertise, experience and value add. The workshop covers how to interpret tender documentation, prepare responses to key criteria and understand the difference between price, and non-price factors. Also, where to look for current and upcoming tender opportunities. Don't take my word for it, check out some of the testimonials from past participants. What do our past participants have to say? We look forward to seeing you at the next workshop.